Live from Jerusalem, it's a Simeon Shavit Show.
Hey, well, here we are again, sitting pretty here in Jerusalem, hoping for the blessed patriarchs and not so blessed uniformed grunts that Caesar so kindly shipped over to us. Hey, did I say that? Welcome, anyway, to a great lineup tonight. We're broadcasting live from the outer courts up here on Temple Hill, and do we have a controversial lineup tonight? 10 days ago, a royal laborer and sometime street preacher out of Nazareth was executed by the Romans. Shortly after his death came rumors that this Jesus of Nazareth was missing from his tomb. Stranger yet is the unsubstantiated report that he came alive again. In fact, some of his followers claim to have seen him post-death. We've gathered both supporters and skeptics tonight to interview, and just maybe we'll uncover the truth about this. Welcome with me our first guest, the mother of yet one more in a long line of self-proclaimed upcountry Messiah, Mary.
Good evening, Simeon.
How does it feel to know you raised a son who turned out to be such an incredible controversial figure?
I didn't teach him to be controversial. It just happened because he is who he is.
And just who is he?
The Son of God.
Whoa, I think you lost me already. You gave birth to the Son of God?
My husband's name was Joseph, but before we married, God gave me a son, his son.
Sure, right. That clears everything up. Well, to move on, at any rate, I'm sincerely sorry that your son had to die the way he did. Our imported wannabe tyrants have no business laying a hand on any Jew, be he good or fraud.
Well, thank you for your sympathy. I do think, though, that he wanted it to be clear that he died so that we could live.
Okay, well, we've got a lot of guests waiting tonight, so we'll have to cut off our pleasant chat right here. Thanks for joining us, Mary. Next, we have a man who says he used to be blind, but no more. Jesus claims he healed him. Welcome with me, Ben Goldberg. So you say Jesus healed you?
Exactly.
How did it happen?
He spit on dirt and made a little mud. This is what my friends tell me. I couldn't see anything yet myself, of course. Then he smeared the dab of mud on my eyes and told me to wash it off.
Hey, my mom puts mud packs on her face, but I never knew one of those suckers could heal blindness.
It can if Jesus applies it.
We hear Pharisees threw you out of a synagogue for believing in this Jesus.
You heard right. That's not the only thing jealousy drove them to.
Well, we'll let them answer for themselves, because the next guest is leading Pharisee in the Sanhedrin. Let's bring on the big boy now. Welcome Pharisees Albright Rosenthal III. So you weren't exactly bosom buddies with the naive Nazarene, huh?
If you overlooked his heretical illusions of grandeur, his utopian teachings, and his deified death wish, you could probably get along with him, okay?
Hey, you're forgetting what every Tom, Dick, and Harry on this end of Mediterranean is talking about. His kindness, his miracles, his mercy.
His kindness was only cunning, his miracles were merely magic, and his mercy only deceived the multitudes. Besides, the writing of the prophets agree that the true Messiah will be born in Bethlehem. Jesus was from Nazareth. The Messiah will deliver from us the oppressors. Jesus went without a struggle to his own crucifixion. He couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag, not to mention a sealed granite tomb.
His followers say he's alive again.
Another lie. His followers stole the body in the tomb and hid it.
You got some skeptics, Rosenthal. How'd they get past the Roman guards into a sealed tomb, you know as well as I do, the size of a typical stone door and out again with the body past the guards.
Bribes, obviously.
Right, and well, we all know the millions of denarii fishermen earned at their fragrant job. Well, thanks for being on the show, Guy. Speaking of fishermen, let's hope they left their occupational aroma at home, because here are two of Jesus' actual disciples, Peter and Thomas. Well, Pete, or should I call you Rocky, you seem awfully happy considering you just lost your rabbi. In fact, what is this stolen body scenario anyway?
Hard to believe, I know, but believe me anyway. Jesus isn't dead. I've seen him myself.
Okie dokie, Pete. Confession's good for the soul. What else did you see at that crazy party?
I doubted it too, Simon, but I saw Jesus with my own eyes. I even touched his scars.
Well, for the love of Osiris, you guys are making this Jesus out to be some kind of god. Give me a break.
If we hadn't been so dense at the time, we would have heard Jesus say himself that he'd be killed and then come back to life. Alive enough, in fact, to help break a week-long fishing slump that had put me behind on my mortgage. I'm caught up now, thanks to him.
So you're still fishing instead of hitting the speaking circuit. You know, disciple of Judean, Messiah tells you how to stretch your loaves and fishes?
Fishing, but not the kind you have in mind.
Well, guys, gotta move on, but why don't you stick around? You know the next guy we're bringing on. Come on in, Lazarus. Talk about the resurrection without talking with a recognized expert on this subject. Lazarus, you says he rose from the dead too. You're one of a select few, Laz. Does this mean you're the Son of God too?
Heck no. The difference is, I was a goner. There was no way I could have revived myself. If Jesus hadn't come along, I'd still be pushing up lilies. Jesus raised himself from the dead by his own power, which I couldn't have done.
And the source of his power?
He's the Son of God, so he's got all of God's power.
You actually believe this guy is God?
Yep, proved it by his miracles, his perfect life, his teachings, his resurrection.
Hold on a minute. How did his resurrection prove he was God?
If he was just a man like you or me, he'd still be dead.
Whoa! It's getting a little thick in here. Anyway, we've got someone who may be Jesus' youngest follower waiting to come on. Welcome, Rashid, the boy with the lunchbox. So you're the boy who gave his lunch to Jesus?
Uh-huh.
What happened? The 12 ran out of peanut butter and jelly and you came to the rescue?
Jesus didn't have any food for this big crowd, so I gave him my lunch.
Exactly how big was this crowd?
The grown-ups said there were more than 5,000 people.
I've heard all about boys with hollow legs, but this is ridiculous. What does your mom give you for lunch? Meals on Wheels?
All I had was 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish.
Jesus must have sliced that bread pretty thin, huh?
Oh no, everybody was stuffed. In fact, they picked up a bunch of leftovers afterwards.
Well, kid, you're either one of the best little liars around, or this Jesus was a first-rate magician. Hey, I want to thank you and Laz here for appearing on the show. Our last guest is Caesar's toady in these parts, the man who couldn't bring himself to give a decisive sentence against Jesus, so he just washed his hands the whole deal and let the mob goad the soldiers into doing the dirty work. Sounds like a Roman to me. Hey, why doesn't this guy wash his hands of Judea itself and go home already? Just kidding. Let's give Pontius Pilate a big welcome.
Watch it, Shavitz. Keep running at the mouth like that, and I'll have you arrested for treason. My personal guard is outside your studio doors at this moment.
Ratings, Governor Pilate. Just ratings. No harm meant. Were you satisfied with the outcome of Jesus' scandal?
I'll tell you one thing. I've taken a cartload of sleeping pills since that crucifixion day. I can't seem to get that guy out of my mind. He still plagues me day and night.
Guilt, I suppose.
Well, yeah, I do feel guilty, but there's nothing I can do about it now. Just the night before he was brought to trial, my wife had a terrible nightmare about the man and warned me to leave him alone. But I had to do what I did. I couldn't risk a full-scale riot.
We're almost out of time, Governor. One last question. Do you put any credence in the rumor that Jesus has come back to life?
I don't know. Sometimes I think almost anything's possible with this man. I can still see him looking at me, still hear him saying that I have no real authority. I can't forget him. I just can't forget the man.
I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die.